The royal press has done it again. Just when you thought the British media might allow a moment of quiet reflection, they've instead chosen noise, speculation, and anonymous insiders whispering dramatically from behind velvet curtains. And this time, the story revolves around a date that should never have been turned into a battleground at all, the 30th anniversary of Princess Diana's death. According to reports, Kate Middleton is allegedly losing patience with Prince Harry. Not because of a scandal, not because of a public outburst, but because Harry has not revealed his plans for how he intends to honour his own mother. Let that sink in. A son is being criticised for choosing privacy over press releases. From the outside, this story is being framed as palace concern. From the inside, it feels more like palace anxiety. Because when Prince Harry doesn't play along with the traditional royal choreography, it disrupts a system that relies heavily on predictability, optics, and control. And here's where the irony becomes almost impossible to ignore. The same institution that once struggled to protect Diana is now deeply invested in managing how she's remembered, carefully, safely, comfortably, preferably without anyone doing anything unexpected. Prince Harry, however, has made a career out of being unexpected, not reckless, not disrespectful, but real. Reports suggest that palace aides are scrambling to ensure the anniversary is commemorated in a way that William feels comfortable with. Comfort is doing a lot of work in that sentence. Comfort for whom? Certainly not for the son who spent decades bottling up grief because the world was watching. Certainly not for the man who has openly spoken about trauma, loss, and the cost of emotional suppression. Harry has chosen a different path, one that doesn't involve checking with committees before feeling something deeply. Adding fuel to the media frenzy is the timing. Harry and Meghan Sussex are expected to be in the UK just weeks before the anniversary for the Invictus Games in Birmingham. An event born out of compassion, resilience, and healing values that Diana herself embodied long before they were fashionable. Yet, instead of celebrating that alignment, the press frames it as a problem. Headlines hint that Harry's presence alone could overshadow other plans, as if grief is a competition, as if remembrance has a spotlight quota. What seems to truly unsettle the palace narrative is the idea that Harry and Meghan Sussex might organise their own tribute, their own thing, independent, unscripted, uncontrolled. For an institution built on tradition, independence can feel like rebellion. An insider claims this situation could be the final nail in the coffin for Kate, a phrase so melodramatic it almost feels intentionally provocative. We're told Kate has always tried to see both sides, hoping Harry would return. But the unspoken question remains, return as whom? Return as the quiet spare? The compliant brother? The man who absorbs pain silently so others can remain comfortable? Harry didn't leave to punish anyone. He left to survive. And Meghan Sussex, predictably, has been subtly positioned as part of the problem. Because in royal storytelling, it's never enough to criticise Harry alone. Meghan Sussex must always loom in the background, imagined as a strategist, a disruptor, a woman whose very presence changes the temperature of a room. But here's the truth that gets lost in all the noise. Meghan Sussex didn't take Harry away from his family. Harry chose a life where his mental health, his wife, and his children came first. A choice Diana herself would have understood all too well. The fear that the anniversary could be diluted by headlines about Harry and Meghan being in the UK says more about the media machine than about Harry's intentions. Headlines are not created by presence alone, they are created by obsession. And the obsession persists because Harry represents something deeply uncomfortable. Proof that stepping away doesn't erase relevance. In fact, it can amplify it. Diana was never comfortable with being boxed in. She challenged expectations, defied scripts, and connected with people in ways that made institutions nervous. If there is one person who understands that legacy intimately, it is her youngest son. So, when Harry keeps his plans private, it isn't secrecy, it's respect. Respect for his mother. Respect for his own grief. Respect for the idea that not everything needs to be announced in advance for approval. What's being interpreted as defiance may simply be boundaries. And boundaries are something the royal system has never handled particularly well. The tension described in these reports doesn't feel like personal animosity. It feels like two very different philosophies colliding. One side believes remembrance should be orderly, coordinated, and carefully managed. The other believes remembrance should be sincere, personal, and free from performance. Neither approach is inherently wrong, but only one allows for healing. Harry's silence isn't dramatic. It's deliberate, and in a world that profits from his every move, choosing silence is an act of quiet power. As the anniversary approaches, speculation will only grow louder. But when the day arrives, what will matter most won't be headlines or coordinated tributes. It will be the simple truth that Diana's legacy lives on, not in palaces or press briefings, but in acts of compassion, courage, and authenticity. Harry doesn't need permission to remember his mother, and Meghan Sussex doesn't need to justify standing beside him while he does. If anything, this moment reminds us why Harry's journey resonates with so many people. He chose humanity over hierarchy, healing over appearance, love over obligation. And perhaps that's what makes this story so uncomfortable for those who prefer control, because you can't choreograph authenticity. In the end, Diana's story was never about obedience. It was about heart. And that heart still beats, not in rigid plans, but in the son who finally learned that honouring her means living freely. And with that, we'll leave it here, not with the noise of headlines, but with a reminder that behind every royal story is a very human one. Prince Harry isn't playing games, rewriting history, or competing for attention. He's simply a son remembering his mother in the way that feels most honest to him. And Meghan Sussex standing beside him isn't controversy, it's partnership, strength, and solidarity. As always, the media will speculate, anonymous sources will whisper, and tensions will be exaggerated for clicks. But time has a way of revealing what's real. And what remains real is this: compassion lasts longer than control, and authenticity always outlives performance. If you appreciate thoughtful takes that cut through the drama and look at the bigger picture, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice truly matters here. And if you'd like to go a step further in supporting the channel, you can use Super Thanks or check out the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. Every bit of support helps keep these conversations going and allows us to continue bringing you content with clarity, warmth, and honesty. Thank you for watching, thank you for your support, and most of all, thank you for being part of this community. Until next time, take care, stay kind, and keep asking the important questions.